33.
Yep. And everybody has a copy of the minutes from last meeting.
Yep.
I looked them over before,
Better bring 'em. I kind of rotted that.
and
Computer at home, I don't, yeah.
anybody got any issues with it?
Nope, I make a motion to accept the secretary's minutes as written.
I'll second that.
Okay,
Sally and Kathy.
okay, all in favor, yes.
Aye.
Aye, aye. Treasurer's report. All right, now I looked that over. I couldn't print it, so I've just made some notes.
Mhm.
And I wrote down something about the judicial grant was for roughly 12.5.
Well, right now, it's, it is 12.5.
Okay.
But they're behind in payments for this payment that was supposed to come through for, January, and we're supposed to get another one, I think, in April. So I put a call into them and they're figuring out where that money is.
Okay, but the 12.5 we've received.
Right.
Okay, and it looked to me like you had spent 10.3 of that.
Exactly.
Okay, so, I mean, what are you getting? What more, how much more are you getting, or what plans do you have to use it?
Well, they owe us $12,000 more for the year.
Okay, so how are you gonna spend that?
It's supposed to be books, DVDs, audios, programming for the kids' room, primarily kids,
Okay,
on Black and Hispanic culture.
oh, that one, yeah.
That it's that one.
Okay,
So we have a couple of books that are now coming out that I've changed into an audio read, the kind that we did for YouTube. So
Yeah.
that will help. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to do a couple outdoor programs.
right. Well, so my other question on that was, on that particular one, was there a deadline as to when it had to be spent out?
June 30th.
Oh, man, you'll never spend another 12.5 if they do give it to you.
Yeah, well, they're allowing you to kind of earmark it for, like, so if I can do programs July and August, they'll let me keep the money for July and August as the world comes out of, its craziness. Only because the world's in craziness, or they're
Right,
letting you
that's what I
extend
think.
it.
Yeah, okay, all right.
So I'm hoping.
Technically June 30th, but hoping for extensions.
Right,
Okay.
right.
All right, now I also wrote down in a course. Oh,
And I'm also okay if we don't
You're
necessarily
done,
get
yeah.
the last 12 grand,
yeah,
because
yeah.
we're okay.
Yeah, you could get a lot with the
Right.
we got, so,
Right.
okay. I wrote down common sense, and I probably said this last month too, just don't remember. So, we're well over budget on them. Did their fees go up or something?
Well, now, what happened was when I had written the budget out, and I did it again for this year, I was basing it on the year before, and I just screwed up. And what happened was, when I started, it wasn't all separated out, and we separated it out, and I just screwed up.
Okay, so.
I mean, they may have gone up a little bit, maybe $5 or $10, a pay period, but even $5 or $10 a pay period adds up,
Yeah, but it's nothing like where we're at right now. So,
Right.
So for the going forward for the next budget, we know to change that.
Exactly.
Okay, fine.
Exactly.
All right. and the
But of
only
course, that won't be next year's. That's going to be the year after.
Yeah, right. The other thing I wrote down was, this was in the bottom of some sheet, other expenses. So COVID was down there as an expense, 6281. Friends was in, but Friends is offset. I don't care about Friends. And then you had the PPE for 20,000 roughly. This is what you spent. So the grant, I wrote the grant for the PPE was 22.9 roughly.
Right.
And you've spent 28 roughly.
And
$25.
what happens is, out of that 20, the 20, I can't think today. The 20, so out of the amount that's lower than the amount we got,
Yeah,
That's because it was taxes. So that's actual for items that they allowed me to write back for the grant.
okay.
So the
You're
other
saying
is,
the difference is tax money going to tax?
right,
Okay,
right.
so the COVID line, the 6281, like, how's that different? What's the difference here?
So that COVID line is the stuff that we bought prior to the grant. They wouldn't cover stuff that was prior to the grant.
Okay, so how did we cover that? I mean, I know we have money, but
And that's kind of how we covered it, because we know we had money.
I'm just wondering
I
about the
mean,
whole.
I mean, really, that's kind of how we covered it, was we had money, and that's how I covered it. Plus, you could think that we could take money out of our payroll.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
absolutely. But so I'm just wondering though, how, from a bookkeeping standpoint, how's that gonna work out?
We Carla and I just created another line, and we named it COVID, and that's what it comes out of. We don't have a line in the budget to take that COVID money that we needed for COVID.
Right.
So to answer your question, I don't know. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
I'm only, I mean, clearly the bottom line is okay. My only
Right.
concern is, and I would think auditors would understand, it, but generally in a
Right.
bookkeeping setup, you want everything to
to go with a line.
exactly. And this we don't really
Right.
have on a line.
You know, I mean, in a way, she could take, I mean, I kind of wanted to leave it separated. I think that's why she put it way down there, because I want it separated. It's not part of our normal budget. We hope it's not part of our normal budget, but I could kind of slide it up into, I don't want to slide it into payroll expenses, because it's not payroll
No, it's not.
expenses. It's
It's
just
not
what we're
payroll
going to take
expense.
money from payroll.
Now I don't have the report in front of me right at the moment. So how far ahead is payroll running? Where are we on that?
Payroll right now is at 68% total.
All right, what do we have? 3 more months?
Yeah, but that payroll number is wrong, because Key Bank just gave me the information to write for my PPP
Right. Oh,
refund. So once that money goes through to that payroll line,
well, then it'll be
that
loaded.
payroll is gonna drop.
Okay, all right. Okay, so they just got that to you now?
They just got it to me this morning, and
This-
now I'm looking for the password to get in, which they didn't give me.
Okay, but so this is the bank setting it up to receive the funds.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. So the bank has already given us the funds, but we haven't credited it to that line yet.
Did you have to get in there, access it and move it?
Right, right. Carla said not to take it out of the payroll line, to give it its own line until we got reimbursed for that,
Yeah.
that loan.
Okay, and how much is that one?
27,900.
Okay, geez Louise. Okay, all right, so I guess we can afford the 62. Okay. This is like bookkeeping nightmare,
It
really.
is a bookkeeping nightmare for me, because I don't even know where to put the stuff in the thing. You know, we kind of talk it over and we decide, okay, that makes sense to put it there. That makes sense to put it, you know, where we put it, you
Okay,
know.
I'm hoping, I really need to just come in and talk to you sometime.
Right.
Anybody else have any comments on the treasure report or questions? Okay, somebody want to make a motion to accept?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Catherine. Second? Who we got that could second? Ann, can you second?
I'll second it then.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the treasurer's report's good. Was there any correspondence in there at all?
I didn't get any.
Okay, good. I like that. Okay, library director. I read your report.
Yeah.
Everybody else read the director's report?
Yes.
Okay, I have a short list of questions.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions on it? What was I
Yeah.
writing? Okay, go.
I just have a question on who TM is and SF.
I think I figured out, but SF I did not. That was one of my
Um,
questions, Ian.
Am I allowed to say that, who the staff members are?
Yeah, why not? This is the
Yeah.
board.
Okay, well, I didn't know if we could, if I was supposed to say that or not,
Oh,
so that's why I
one
didn't.
is not, one is gonna be gone in your height. We always do.
Right, and we brought back Stacy.
Oh, Stacy, okay.
Yeah,
I don't think I
Stacy.
can remember Stacy.
yeah, she only worked Wednesdays,
Okay.
maybe Tuesday late, you know,
Is that Teresa that's leaving? Therese?
Teresa.
yes.
Mhm.
All right, so Teresa's gone, Stacy's
Sorry, I
coming back.
didn't want to do.
Teresa, how many hours was Teresa working? I thought she was only 1 day a week or something.
She was only working like 15.
Okay. Is Stacy gonna be able to take up that slack or no?
Stacy's only gonna do 2 to 4 hours a week. That's it
Oh,
on
that's
Wednesday.
hardly- That's not a replacement then. You're gonna need,
Well, I do have a, I think I wrote down that I had some replacements in mind for Therese.
Yeah.
You know, right now we're okay, you know, when we open up the library more, then we'll need more help. And I have some wonderful trustees that are volunteering to assist me when I have a giant hole that I need filling.
okay.
So we're good right now. Um, you know, I'm really working on getting someone to help me when it's just either me and Chris or me and Jess, because, you know, if I'm out here at the circ desk and I'm answering the phones and I'm helping the patrons, then I'm not really working on my grants and other stuff.
But
So,
at some point, we're gonna reopen. That's
Right.
gonna happen fairly soon, I would think. So you really need to get somebody on board. You
Right.
can't work it with what you got.
Right.
So I think at least one more.
right. And I got a couple people in mind that they just gotta come in for interviews and see what we're working on.
Because now, all right, let me rephrase this. Have you published anything, put any kind of want out there? Don't we have to do that?
Well, I hadn't because I went through the applications of people who had already applied and I didn't take them because I had other people that, you know, I took over them. But the people that I was looking at, it's not as though I would have never have hired them. They were good candidates. I just chose not to grab them because I had just a tad better candidate, you know?
Okay, so I think really, Caroline, what I think you should do is move on this very quickly, get the
Okay.
interviews going. And and please try to, you know, we want qualified people, not, I know how you and I have had a
I know.
Okay.
I hear you.
Okay, so, and because if you cannot get anybody from your list, then get it out there, publish
Yeah.
it, and looking for somebody, because I don't want us to get in the position where finally we're ready to open and we got nobody to run the stinking place. So
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say stinking place. I
No,
mean-
no, I got you. I got you.
Okay,
And
so put that on your list.
yeah.
Okay, so need.
So there was also someone who was related to someone who was
Yeah.
working here.
Yeah,
And, you know, I didn't have an issue with that person. So I
Right.
was even thinking of asking, now that one person's not here, then maybe bringing that
everybody
person back
loves
for a
that
couple hours.
person.
Right, right. So that was kind of another thought of mine. So,
So approach that person, but you got to move on it.
okay,
Yeah, because I think everybody loved that person. All
right,
let's
right.
back to that. So I'm in Virginia for this week. My mind will be shot. And I have 2 weeks left of school. That's my other issue here, but then expect to have me bugging you more often.
Okay, good, good.
All right, now back to your report. So did this happen before and I don't remember? Did I read this right? Were you going to be closed on Saturdays after Memorial Day?
We had decided that or talked about that before the pandemic hit, because there's not any people coming in the summer on Saturdays. And many libraries who live in communities such as this close on Saturdays because nobody comes in. On average, we had between 4 and 6 people.
Mm,
You want to change it and be open?
I don't know.
I mean, right now we have on average 2 people.
Well, nobody's doing anything right now, so.
Right. That's what I'm thinking as the world opens back up. The people aren't going to come to the library on Saturday. They're going to go to the beach or to the movies or to see their mother or to see their grandmother.
All right,
you
so
know?
let's try it. But let's see how this summer goes.
Yeah.
I would kind of like to relook at that
Okay.
years.
I mean,
A survey or something, or try it for a while,
Yeah.
see if anybody shows.
I was also kind of thinking that if someone really wanted to come and needed to come on Saturday, then we could allow them to come on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, what are you gonna do? Say, call in advance if you want to come Saturday?
Right, if you need to come on Saturday, call us in advance, call us by, Tuesday.
Okay, so maybe you could put that in the Citizen
Right,
next time, saying the library will be closed on Saturdays after Memorial Day till Labor Day. If there's a situation that you need the library
Right.
specifically, yeah, okay, all right.
yeah, that's kind of what I was
Better, okay,
kind
so
of,
let's try that. On request.
Carol Ann, you didn't
Yes.
put anything in for circulation this month.
well, I didn't have the numbers. I was kind of typing this at like 7 o'clock in the morning here and nobody else was
Okay, so
around.
I'll just skip it then.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're holding steady. I don't think they're climbing all that well, although we just picked up 3 new patrons this week. And, we have some great holds from them. So I think next month they'll be up. And I think for this past month, I think they were really holding steady.
But
Okay.
I actually think you've made a good point that as things reopen, people might be doing other things for a little while.
That's just what I'm thinking, just for the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so then I did what, like you did address, did I have this on my agenda thing? I did. I have it under old business about update the policy on materials, so not being returned.
Right.
And you did go through that in your director's report, what you and
Yeah.
Catherine had come up with. And I mean, that seemed pretty,
I mean, it's pretty straightforward and I think it's
Yeah.
fair.
now,
Yeah.
what's that's not, how it's worded in your report is not how it's worded in the director's, in the policy, is that correct?
We don't have anything written as to what happens if somebody owes us a lot of money in our actual policy.
Okay,
So we need a new policy on that then?
I think we need
Maybe
to
just an
add
amendment
this.
to it, right?
Yeah, we need to add this to the policy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there is something in there. And again, I'm in Virginia, I don't have the policy book with me. But we should add it.
Okay,
And actually, let's put that on next month, that we'll use your information, but
Uh-huh.
get it written up in a policy word. And then get it next month, vote on items for next month. Vote on policy. So did everybody read what she wrote in the
Yes.
director's report? Now you have, well, Catherine, you must be, you're involved. in
Yeah.
it.
I
Sally,
just-
are you happy with it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and Anne, you think it makes sense?
Yeah, I like the idea of taking them to small claims court, to tell you the truth. It doesn't cost very much. And it's rather than a collector.
The
You know,
collection
who-
agency is, you're throwing money
Ridiculous.
away.
Yeah,
yeah, and
And
as I
small
said,
claims court is $35 to make a claim. It's a
Right.
small claims court, so.
and I don't foresee it happening, 20 times a year. I mean, this is a once an occurrence in 3 years that I've been here,
Right, it could be, exactly. Once in 10 years, who knows?
Right.
Yeah,
okay, because I want it written out before we actually vote on it.
Okay.
right.
And so let's get it written out. What is this? This is, what would be our,
We'll
no,
work with
I
you
have-
on
I left
that,
my
yeah.
phone somewhere.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't hear your
Sorry,
question.
I'm talking to myself.
Oh, okay.
Because I was trying to figure out, okay, no, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I want to put it down for next meeting to vote on this as an actual policy and get it amended into the policy. But I need the book in my hand when I'm doing that. To see
Okay.
where we're gonna put it and number it and all of that.
Wouldn't we just put an amendment to the actual collection policy?
I thought we just voted on adding it to the,
Okay,
Well, that's an amendment if you're adding to it.
Right.
okay. I just would, I mean, I can't reread it right now, being on the Zoom, it's on
No.
somewhere, but, I mean, I thought it covered it quite well.
No, but we can just put it on the agenda for next month.
Yeah, and we'll just make sure we have it written in the exact words that we want for that.
Okay.
Right, it will be taken care of.
we'll
Great-
work on
Good
it.
job, girls, good job. Because actually I started going through the agenda and I saw that, I said, oh crap, was I supposed to do something about that? But apparently I gave you the job, Catherine. Very good.
You're a great one for just passing things along here.
I was pretty happy with that. I thought not as dumb as I thought. All right, so that's that. The new business. So when I
Wait,
forwarded-
I wasn't done yet.
you weren't done? Oh, that was
Yeah.
all my questions. I thought, okay, what do you
Um,
got?
I just want to tell you that I do have a couple of volunteers to help me with story times, which I'm grateful of.
Okay.
So I won't be all stressed out. And I did get a
Oh,
grant
I
from,
got another question. Oh, good thing we came back. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
and I got a grant for $3,000. I just have to finish writing out the application. It's from IMLS for Anne. It's called Institute of Museums and Library Services. It's distributed more than $30 million for the CARES Act funding through
Oh.
grants to the state library to be administered. We received $3,000. I have to write a grant on SNAP, unemployment, and broadband. Throw a grant together that covers all three. So that's where my brain really has been thinking, and that's why I'm all
Really,
spaced
how are
out.
you gonna do that?
Well, I think we can cover SNAP through our vegetable program that we
Oh,
give
yep,
out plants
okay,
and
yep.
vegetables.
Yep.
Our unemployment, we can assist people on showing them how to get to the state unemployment
computer,
database
yeah,
to
yeah.
looking for jobs.
Yeah,
And our broadband really is our broadband now, CEN, trying to figure out a way to fix our wireless
okay.
so that it actually works.
So what, that's how, and that's what all the grant money would go
Right,
for.
that's for $3,000.
Yeah, okay, well, for sure, the seed thing, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Repeat the three things that it has to cover.
SNAP or food insecurities, unemployment, and broadband.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a cool one. That's a useful one. Okay, so now I remembered another question. I had another question. You mentioned in the report that Sue was gonna do the uke stuff one day a month.
One day a month.
So how is that even gonna work? Because,
You're going to be here from the beginning of the day to the end of the day on Wednesday in the hall when the hall's allowed to be opened, spreading the people out throughout the hall, and we're going to run it that way.
well, my concern was how are you gonna, like, oh God, I can't talk. She must have like a cap of how many she thinks she could teach that way.
We could, well, unfortunately, Beth, I can't get her more. I can't get her more.
I know that, but I'm just wondering how it's gonna work out. Are you
I-
gonna be first come, first whatever, or?
It's going to be whoever signs up first is going to be able to attend. I am encouraging the people from Ashford to have first choice.
Yeah, which is
Um,
good, yeah.
Chaplain won't get her as they had. So many of the chaplain people may very well visit us. And really it's based on ability. So if she has 10 people in that room spread out that all have the same ability, then it'll work fine.
Right.
You can't have a brand newbie with an oldie, because it won't work fine.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. The logistics of it seem a little,
Well,
Yes, but she's the one who has to determine the logistics. She knows the abilities of the people that are either brand new or
Right,
experienced. It will be her choices.
so
Yeah.
is she gonna manage the sign up part of this?
yeah, and that's how she did it last year too.
All right.
Was it we said, okay, Beth Fitzroy wants to play ukulele, and she would reach out to you and say, have you ever played? Do you play? Do you need an instrument? All that kind of jazz,
Okay,
and schedule you for a time period. I mean,
okay.
I'm still trying to find someone else that can assist her, but
I would think they're probably kind of few on the ground myself.
there's probably few on the ground.
All right, so we'll see how that goes. It's better than nothing anyway.
Right.
Okay, so what else did you want to say?
I think that's all I had was just to talk about that grant that I just got,
Yeah, okay.
and that's about it.
Okay.
I think we're good.
All right, now can I move on?
Yeah, you can move on. I'm sorry.
Okay, so when I sent you the agenda, I think I also sent Cheryl's email because I had questioned her about when
Right,
we might be able to meet in person. And, so she said, the state is pretty much opening up in May. And so she said Board of Selectmen would have to meet after May 20th and make that determination.
right.
But really, if the state is, I think it should happen, if not May, that's what I was trying to figure out when our meeting was, June. At some point, they gotta let us go back to real meeting.
Right.
Now, so I want to ask you guys, is there anyone here who, if it becomes allowed, does anyone here have an issue with it? Does anybody not want to meet in person is what I'm trying to ask.
Oh, no issue, no.
Okay,
No issue, but I just wanted to let you know ahead of time.
Mm.
I'm planning on going vacation in June.
yeah, that's all right. We're good with that. Okay, so we have to kind of wait for the town to make their decision, but I'm hoping sooner rather than a year from now, we'll be allowed to meet in person again. Because I just think it's easier when we all are sitting there and have a policy book with us or have all this stuff
Yeah.
with us. I
Right.
just think it's easier. Okay. So then the other thing is, yes, Al is gonna resign. And so it means another election. They said they would do it. Who was I talking with? I was talking with, what's her name? Janet Bellamy. They're the Democrats and whoever, because I lose track of what it has to be. He was a Democrat, wasn't
Yes,
Yeah,
he? They're starting to think about who they can put up, run as a replacement, but she asked that we try to think about any too. And I said, I don't know anybody. I never know anybody. Oh, Pat's a good idea.
oh, sorry.
All right, I'll mention that. Janet must know that. I would think she knows her well.
Mhm.
Yeah, she'd be good.
Mhm.
And who?
She lost that election.
Yeah,
I can't say her last name, but you know who we mean, right?
Phineas.
Yeah,
Phineas?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good one. If anybody else thinks of anybody, Ann, you got any great ideas over there?
No.
Okay. If anybody else thinks anybody, email me or whatever, and I'll just get in touch with Bellamy. But that's a great suggestion. Maybe that one would work.
You thought about going back to Jen Recchio?
No.
Say that again. Say it again, Sally.
Jen.
The thing is, the position's only going to be open now until November. So it's a very short term.
Well, the way I understood it, what I understood was he wasn't going to resign till November or October or something. And then there would be an election in November. I could be wrong. I thought that's what
Well,
Janet.
either way, there would have been an election in November.
Right. Well, oh, okay. So he was covering, who was he covering? Are you saying?
Barbara.
Barbara Zulik.
And was Barbara's term up?
yes,
Yep, in November.
yes,
This one would be for the however many miserable years. It'd be a full term.
yes,
Yep.
yes.
Oh. Okay, so I'll mention, I think we have to mention the Jen. I'll mention Jen and Pat to Janet. They organize it and put it together. I don't want to be involved in any of that. Anybody else have any good ideas? Sally, you're done.
How about Sue Harkness?
Oh.
She might be interested.
I don't know. She was on it for years.
Yeah, she was.
She's not young, Sue.
So?
No, none of us are, but if we're
So?
talking about 6 years,
library.
It'd be nice to get younger people though, because some of us are getting up there.
I'll tell you what really concerns me, Ann, is we need somebody who's what used to be a steno person, because you're such a good secretary that's going to be.
It's not a hard job. No.
You're really good about it.
Thank you.
What do you say it's not a hard job, but I would find it impossible, so.
Mhm.
um, Okay, so, and I'm gonna say that to Janet too.
You look at the Democratic Town Committee people, though, they're all over the hill.
Right.
Well, I'm just saying, if it's a 6-year,
Is it 6 years? Holy cow.
I thought, isn't it?
I think
Yep.
it's 6 years, yeah.
Wow.
Is it? Yeah,
Oh.
something like that.
Yeah,
I-
Catherine, I didn't know either, you don't pay attention to that.
I'm
It's
up for election in November. My term runs out. in
No,
November.
it does not. She said, this is the only one.
I'm on I just got the agenda from the town committees about who's running for
Oh, no,
what.
no,
and
that's right. She said you were gonna re-up though.
Yes, I am.
Okay, good girl. Then I have to, see, I put it out of my mind because I thought,
You are, no, don't say that, Kath. No, I won't, I won't. Don't take notes, Ann.
yeah, leave that alone. Yeah, she did say that, you're right, but then I put it out of my mind, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, all right, so, update from persons to be heard, nobody, update from friends. Did you guys get the thing? Some of you got it. I know that she is gonna hold an in-person meeting in June
Yep.
because they need to decide what they're doing about book sales and wine tastings or whatever else she's got going.
Election.
Elections, that's right, for the offices. So they are going to have an in-person meeting in June.
If it's allowed by the town.
Doesn't matter because they're not like us.
Oh, okay, so they may have to move it out of the library building.
Yeah, and she's
Yeah.
already worked on that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, if the town won't let them meet in the building, then she's got backup plans. So
Okay, good.
they definitely meet in person. That's all I got there. And so items for next meeting, I wrote down, vote on the policy. I don't know anything else. Well, we'd have to talk about, by then we should know what the heck's going on. So definite reopening plans.
Mhm.
Anything else?
No, I'm good.
No.
Yep.
All right. All right. Well, thanks for dialing on. Did somebody want to make a motion?
I will make a
Okay.
motion to close.
Who's making the motion?
Me,
Uh,
Catherine.
Catherine did.
Catherine making the motion to
I'll
adjourn.
second the motion.
Sally?
Yep.
Okay, the time is 3:00
3:06.
3:06.
3:06.
Very good. All right. Pleasure talking to you guys. All in favor, right? We went
Yes,
off.
Yep.
yes.
Okay. I talk to you guys later.
Goodbye.
Have a nice
Okay.
vacation.
It's not vacation really.
Well, you're with the grandkids, so
Okay, yeah, being driven crazy already. Okay, bye.
bye.
And go pet the kitty. I can hear him crying.
I don't like the cats here.
Bye. What? We're trying to leave.
There you go.
Leave.